How's it going, you guys? Welcome to this week's episode of What Would You Do? Yes, my nose is crazy stuffy. It's spring. My allergies destroy me every year. So here's an issue that comes with me every once in a while. Not very often, but sometimes people come to me as if I'm like the best parental advice giver and say, Epic, my mom doesn't want me to do free running. What do I do? How do I get her to let me do this? Or my dad, he just doesn't understand, and I want to find a way to show him that it's not retarded or that it's not unsafe, da-da-da. Look, your parents care about you, and for me, my family's important to me, so I have to take into consideration their feelings. But I progress in a certain way, and they're more understanding than some parents. I guess I don't want to put down anybody else's parents, but they're understanding enough to where they know that I gotta get a little crazy. I mean, we're never gonna survive unless we get a little crazy. So this week's question is, what would you do if your parents didn't want you to do parkour and free running? And even if you're like 65 years old, put yourself back when you're like 17, 13, 12, maybe even 10, maybe even 21, and you're still living with your parents. And then put yourself in the position where your parents were like, I don't want you to do that parkour and free running stuff anymore. You're going to break your neck. You're going to fall on your head. I don't want you jumping roofs. I don't want you doing double flips. Da, 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 da. And you got to understand that it comes from them worrying about your safety. But what would you do? So leave all your comments, suggestions, ideas, things like that in the comments below. And don't forget to come back next week and see what other people are saying. And don't forget to look at the other What Would You Do videos and see what people are saying to the questions before. And maybe you might find something that you found interesting, whether you're a teacher, whether you're a student, whether you are learning on your own, whether you train by yourself. Maybe you're a yoga instructor and wanting to get into parkour. So, with that, I leave you with this week's question. What would you do if your parents didn't want you to do parkour and free running? Take great care, you guys. Have an awesome week, and stay positive.